Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another IG Live Questions with. I'm your host, Marlon Taylor-Wiles. We have an amazing show today. Amazing creative artist, Heels Royalty, is on with us today. Shernita Anderson, which will be amazing to have her give her gifts of knowledge and wisdom about the industry here. As usual, just want to do a quick. Hey, what's up, Mama Griggs? How are you? Just want to do a quick shout out. Couple things for us creatives. There's a great program called ClassCentral.com. They're offering free classes from all the Ivy League schools. There are classes in computer science. There are classes in business. There are classes in arts and design. Again, that is ClassCentral.com. 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 There's also creativecapital.org. That is creative-capital.org. And they are offering a list of art resources to help artists out during COVID-19 outbreak and what we're dealing with here. I'm so happy to have Shernita on today. Her credits include Kanye West, Alicia Keys, Janelle Monae, Kelly Rowland, Chris Brown, Beyonce. She's been on Glee, Black Girls Rock, Saturday Night Live, The Today Show, Good Morning America, The Get Down, Happyish, Annie. It just her credits are incredible. So it's going to be such a delight to have her on today. You know, we're going to just get into it once she arrives. You know, I want to take this moment to make sure that everyone just pat yourself on the back because we're dealing with a crazy pandemic that none of us have ever dealt with before. So everyone's dealing with this a little bit differently. So just take some time to give yourself a little self-love and just pat yourself on the back because it's wild outside, and just stay home and stay safe. And hopefully we can just drop some knowledge and drop some gems on our industry, on the entertainment industry, on the dance industry, and what it's like to be an entertainer dealing with this outbreak here that we have going. So Shernita just requested, so let's get into it. Shernita did not request. Mama Griggs, you requested. We're not going to go live with you right now. We're going to go live with Shernita in just a second. Once she's all ready to go, we're going to get it popping. But I really appreciate that, Mama Griggs. Thank you for being on with us right now. There's Shernita. So once Shernita requests, we can get it going. Boom. My good friend, celebrity performer, choreographer. So without further ado, I want to welcome my good friend, celebrity performer, choreographer, teacher, Heels Royalty, everything under the sun, the joy, the sunlight of New York City, Brooklyn's own, Miss Shernita Anderson.
Oh my God, what's up, bro?
You know what? I got something for you.
What do you have for me?
The crowd, the people are clapping, the people are here.
Yeah.
I hear you, Rita, but I can't see you yet. Still waiting for you to connect.
I can see you and hear you.
You can see me and hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's get it started.
But you can't see me or hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you yet. But it's all good. We can keep it going. Let's try one more time. There we go. Yes. Yeah. Rita, what's going on?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. I didn't realize this was such a dressy occasion.
No, I mean,
you got your.
I'm dressing up for you.
I should have worn my ball gown or something. I'm so I'm just I thought it was very loungy. I didn't know it was gonna be so professional.
You can lounge. You can lounge. You know, you the star. I'm the host. So,
but look at me. I look all raggedy in comparison to you.
Never. But thank you so much for doing this. So important.
Thank you.
So how you holding up right now? How you holding up right now?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm having a great time. Right? I normally quarantine even when we're not forced to. Like, I'll be doing a lot, so I take a lot of downtime. So this has been very smooth for me.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You're free. Can you see me?
You froze for a second.
Okay, you too.
But you're good now. Okay. So Rita, let's just hop into it. How'd you start dancing?
How?
Yeah, how? How'd you get into dance? How did this all happen to you?
All right. So I took my first dance class in junior high school. It was part of I went to a gifted and talented junior high school, and we had classes, but then we got to choose 2 electives. So like one year, I chose like journalism and typing, but then the next year I was like, I'm choosing dance. And then for the rest of my years in there, I had dance and maybe like 2 types of dance at that. And then after that, I auditioned for LaGuardia. I got into LaGuardia. Then I left LaGuardia. I didn't graduate from LaGuardia. And then I went to another school, Repertory High School. And there I got to dance and sing in a choir. And then after that, I was still close friends with some of my friends from LaGuardia, and my best friend at the time, she was taking class at Broadway Dance Center, and she was like, "Yo, I need an outfit for class." I'm like, "An outfit for class? What is that?" So she was like, "Yeah, I gotta look good when I go take these classes. Do you want to come with me shopping and then come to the class?" And I was like, "All right, I guess." And then that's when I got introduced to, like the more professional side of things. And then from there, just taking class and then, networking and figuring things out. And then eventually, I auditioned for a couple of things, and eventually I auditioned for agencies a couple of times. Eventually I got one, which was DDO. And then after a while, I left DDO and I went to Block, and I'm still with Block on the dance side.
Now, since you bring up networking, can we elaborate on that and how important that is within our industry to be a networker? Because that's so important, how to get jobs and how to take class and how to be able to be in the right situations at the right time and being nice to people, and that all comes from networking, right?
Yeah, I think, like, personally, I don't really like the word networking or even just like the thought of it, because it just seems so icky, But I think, we can all find a way to quote unquote network that works for us. What we need to realize is that we're in a world where there's give and take, where there's exchanging all the time. So it's not necessarily, a bad thing to quote unquote network. And, I'll say that from taking class and from being around, I've gotten a lot of work, whether it's been dance work or whether it's been hosting work, or whether it's just been various opportunities, all from being out and about, so to speak.
So that's what it is, being out and about. So that's what it is, being out and about, being around, being on the scene.
Being on the scene, like, especially now, like, things were kind of different, back in my day in 1905 when I first started in the game, you know. But people have to see you,
Right.
they have, or else they're not gonna think of you. Hey, Jasmine. Oh, hey, my cousin's up in here. Hey, girl.
What's up?
Something saying at the bottom. When people see you, they're thinking about you.
Mhm.
That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, got it. So so from being on the scene, how was the audition process? Is that just like people are just asking you, can you audition, or does everything come through your agency?
No, when I first started, there was no like email and things like that. Like you would find out about a big audition like literally through word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have an agent for a while, and I remember specifically auditioned for Maya one time at Chelsea Piers. Oh, hey, my former students is up in here. Hey, girl. Hey, Jayla, girl. Yeah, I auditioned for Maya at like Chelsea Piers, and I think the choreographer was Showtime at the time. And literally, it was just like word of mouth, So like I crashed it, and I know that the only reason why I didn't get it is because I didn't have the look, because I fucking smashed it.
As usual.
But I don't know if you. Sometimes I be going down in flames, okay? But yeah, just from again, like just talking to people, hanging out,
And the scene was different also because there was no social media.
There was no social media.
It wasn't like people could just like hop on your Instagram or hop on your website or whatever and be like, oh, let me just take a peek at her. It was like you only have this one shot, and then that's it.
Yep.
Like I feel like social media has really changed the game up for a lot of people to feel a little bit, they feel themselves a little bit more because of social media.
Yeah.
Right? So can we talk about social media and how that can happen?
Who are you, Winston Williams? Wendy Williams' cousin or something? We're trying to get the dirt. All right.
No, we just talk about, because we have a lot of young artists here. So we need to talk about how social media has changed the game and how it has made us evolve as artists. Like about people putting work out on social media and this kind of idea of you're only putting your best self on social media. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is that social media is obviously not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's also showing just how superficial things are and just how superficial people are, how superficial the industry is. Because likes and numbers do not equal talent.
Right.
Those are just the facts, and those are going to be the facts forever. You're showing what you got, or it's an algorithm thing. The more you're posting, okay, the more Instagram is going to favor you, the more any app is going to favor you. So if you're posting a bunch of BS every day, people are going to keep seeing it. It doesn't mean anything, but these brands and these artists and things like that, they, how can I just say it? A lot of the wrong people be in the right position. The people who, don't have any real knowledge of the industry, no real knowledge of dance, no real knowledge of talent. They're in these positions where they're able to, cast someone. So, okay, they're gonna Google most popular choreographer. most popular dancer, you know?
Right.
And then for them, you know, it's like, okay. And it and it and it doesn't necessarily work in our favor. It works more for the brand's favor or the artist's favor than it actually does for the dancer doing the work. Excuse me, because if how can I say it? These brands don't have to promote anybody anymore. They don't have to build anything up. So if somebody has, you know, a lot of followers, that's just good for their brand.
Right. It's like cross marketing.
Yeah, yeah.
Use those platforms, use on that follower count.
Yeah. Well. Exactly. It's like, you know, this person is gonna look good for me, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's what the whole that's what the whole game is about these days now.
Right. But it's not necessarily a good thing.
It's tough, you know. I go on back and forth with social media a lot. I definitely feel a lot of pressure in regards to social media often. I've definitely, you know, auditioned for things, and you know, they would write me back and be like, "Well, how many followers do you have?" You know, and then I don't hear from them. You know, I have friends who have literally choreographed for like I have a friend who choreographed for Sade, okay? Like Sade of all people, you know? And you know, he wanted to teach like at a camp, you know, or something like that. And they told him he didn't have enough followers. And I'm like,
that's ridiculous.
Kidding me? But unfortunately, you know, that's where we are. I think that each of us have to figure out what social media game we want to play for us, and then just take it from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's not going anywhere. It's only getting more and more intense. You know, they're changing the algorithm all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like recently, they changed it recently. Instagram changed their algorithm recently because I noticed that my numbers on my videos dropped dramatically. Now, you know, when people talk about Instagram and, you know, like playing the algorithm game, they're like, you know, you have to be on it constantly. You know, you have to use all of its features. You have to post consistently. I do that. I have 2 videos that I post a week, and I'm always on my stories and, you know, engaging with my friends and, you know, even others. So the fact that just maybe within the past 2 weeks, I've noticed that the views on my videos have gone down. I asked a couple of people, and everyone says the same thing. Everyone's numbers, their views, and likes have dropped dramatically in the past 2 weeks. Then I heard that, you know, it's probably Instagram's way of getting people to pay to promote their stuff.
Paid sponsorship, yeah.
Right, like to promote their stuff. So it's like when you have things like that constantly changing, constantly, you know, working against you, you just literally have to figure out and decide what are you going to do for yourself and how are you going to make it work for you, and obviously try not to drive yourself crazy in the process.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, is it that important? No.
You know, it's like I think that everybody should be playing the social media game, but I also think that we should all recognize that on a higher level, what's for us is not going to miss us. You know, if you're, you know, do your work, do your thing, you know, but there still has to be some sort of level of energetic surrender, you know, or else you're just gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
And plus, it's also like I know people who don't have a lot of followers who are doing like major things. So you know,
That's so true. That's so true. So let's get into your like you being this force, and you basically worked with everyone in the industry. To me, you
I
worked with
haven't worked with everybody.
well, okay, you work with a lot of good people. You work with Alicia Keys, you work with Chris Brown, you work with Janelle Monae, you work with Beyonce, you work with Kanye. So I wanted to show this clip of you working with Kanye. I think it was from Kanye.
Oh, shoot, you got a little text for them? What you about to show us here? What's going on?
Let's see what we got. Oh no, hold on.
I do, Jasmine. Thank you so much. I really need to recognize. Hey, Cedar baby. I do need to recognize that. You know, I do have a great resume. I just recognize that. Oh, what's this screen share you about to do?
You know what? It's
Hey,
unfortunate.
JP.
I don't. I have the video, but it's on my other phone. So give me 1 second, and then I'm going to show this clip though, because I want.
Okay. I know I'm typing, but I don't really need to type, but I just wanted to type. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all so much for being here with me. I really appreciate it. I hope y'all are all doing all right out there. You know, I feel like I wonder if I should wait till he comes back to say this, but I'm going to say this or whatever because Marlon don't run me.
I don't.
I feel like in dance specifically, for some reason, at least my generation and maybe a year or two younger than me, I feel like we always feel like what we've done is not enough. You know, like whenever, because people are like, well, you did this, you did that. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know. But like when you really like sit back and look, you know, I'm like doing the shit, you know?
Absolutely.
But it's so, and I don't know if that's a dancer thing or or my generation of dancer thing, but I still find it a bit challenging to be like, you know, yeah, well, I did this, yeah, well, I did that, you know. That's something I'm working on. I'm not actually going to talk to my therapist about that on Thursday.
Partially, this is about celebrating my colleagues, celebrating my friends. You know, to like make sure that you understand that we are here rooting for each other. You know what I mean? And like, I've been amazed to see the trajectory of your career going from when we first met to you doing all of these amazing things to you hosting one of the biggest, most popular, coolest parties in the city. Like, you're out here and you are really like just being an inspiration to a lot of people, including myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a part of this is just, you know, me just saying thank you. And that's why I wanted to have you on and kind of acknowledge and make sure people understand what it really is. You know what I mean? But I found the clip, so.
Thank you. Okay.
Here we go. I'll show it like this.
Oh my God, I love it. Just zoom.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
here. Hey, Alex. Hey, Rich. So it was a really, really big audition at yes, Jasmine, a toast for the chocolate girls. Um, it was a really big audition in at SIR Studios. Um, and it was hundreds of us. And we actually had to learn choreo, and then we had to freestyle solo one by one.
Oh, really?
And,
was he there, or was it someone from his team?
I think he may have been in the room at maybe later on down the line, like on the later part of the audition.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, that's like 10 years ago. That's one of my first major jobs. Yeah, that was when my career really started to take off. But yeah, we auditioned in there, learned choreography, which is very because we were used to kind of learning like, counts and boom boom blah blah blah. But his choreographer is very abstract, So, and then he's also from Prague, so we were like, and then plus when we auditioned for it, we didn't know who it was for. It just was like, confidential SNL or something like that. And then, we auditioned, and then I think they even separated us. I think we may have even been separated by race.
Really?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. I think there were like the blacks, the whites, the Asians, and the mix, the Latins. I think at some point we were separated by that.
And how do you keep your composure when you're in a room of that many people that are that very talented? It's like,
back in the day, it's a little different when you're in a room with all of your friends, and when I auditioned for Kanye, well, first of all, back then, that's when there were a lot of great dance auditions.
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's barely any dance calls on the commercial side, that is. But you walk in the room and you know everybody there, so it's not like you feel any way because you're working with your friend on some choreography. You like in your zone and stuff. It just always feels good when you're in a room full of people that you know. And then even on the non-commercial side, because I'm no Marlon Taylor-Wiles, but I do have a bit of technique, so even with my career, I've been fortunate to do a lot of different things on the commercial side as well as more theater side and stuff like that. So I knew like the theater girls, and then I knew like the hip hop girls, I knew the contemporary girls. So you're in a room full of your friends. It's like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
And most auditions when people, everyone's like super supportive. It's not like who's
right.
Yeah.
Well, let's say for some artists, for some younger artists who are in attendance with us today, how do you? But if you don't know anyone, and let's say you don't have that high level of confidence, how do you deal in those situations? Because there's a lot of talented people, especially when you're in New York City. You come in there and there's people stretching that are going crazy with the stretches. There's like little clips.
Like
people got their leg up. They got somebody in there turning, somebody doing like all this stuff. And you come in and sometimes, at least when I first got on the scene, I was slightly intimidated because I was like, oh snap, like people are doing all this stuff, and I don't know if I'm ready for this. But then when we get in the studio, when we get the audition, it's a different story. They can be doing that stretching and stuff at the beginning, but it's time to hit the step. It's a different vibe. So how do you deal with that, or how did you deal with that when you first came into the industry of not having a lack of confidence, just like being a novice, being new to it?
Well, it's a couple of things. One is your training.
Mhm.
You know, like if you're taking the right classes to begin with, like that's one
Right.
part of it. You're taking the right dance classes, you're training. This is what class trains you for.
Thank
You
you.
know, it trains you to get in these auditions, get in these rooms, and work it out with a lot of people that you may not know. So that's number one. And number two, you know, what a lot of people don't talk about is that there's a level of personal growth and personal work that you have to do outside of class, you know, that is, being mindful of your triggers, you
Mhm.
know, your being mindful of your insecurities because we all have them, you
Mhm.
know, being mindful of these things and working through them. Like, like what is your, I'm sorry guys, something in my mouth, I was eating. I should have had some. All right, we good. Being mindful of your self-talk, like what are the things you're saying to yourself inside class and outside of class. You know,
Definitely.
like really, really being aware. Like, okay, when I'm in class, right? When do I get the most nervous? Like what makes me feel a bit unsettled. Okay, maybe it's when this fierce ass girl or fierce ass boy is in there. Okay, so what does that say about me? Right? All right. What is my thing, that I need to work on in order to push through in these auditions?
Mhm. So true. It's so true. It's almost like you have to train your mind just as much as you train your body within this kind of work,
Exactly.
and understanding these ideas of what I like to practice, like positive affirmation and like breathing exercises. So when I get triggered, sometimes I know, okay, Marlon, step back, 4 deep breaths in, 4 deep breaths out, so I can start to relax myself and get back to my inner self and not think of what I'm seeing on the outside so much and what triggers you to feel a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
And I was watching your I subscribe to your YouTube, so I see everything that you post, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And I noticed one video you said you were talking about your hearing loss, and you um, that happened during the Kanye.
Well, that's when I found out.
That's when you find out. That's when you first found out that was
Yeah.
happening to you. So can you talk a little bit about that for anyone that is dealing with kind of those things, and how they can kind of develop again this kind of self confidence of not saying that's not going to hold me back from my dreams and
Yeah.
what I want to accomplish.
Well, fortunately enough, I can still hear without my hearing aid. I've been diagnosed with a type of hearing loss that has affected my nerves because you have like nerves like back here that are for your ears, and some of those nerves are damaged back here and inside as well. And it's possible that I may have been born with it and not realize until around that time. That's most people who have this type of hearing loss don't realize until they're like in their 30s, basically, uh, or like later in life, 25,
Right.
30, 40, things like that. Um, you know, I I just never really looked at it as something that would stop what I was doing. Fortunately, this is, I mean, that was 2012, I think. Like, fortunately, this is not like, 1900 or,
Right.
like, we're
Yeah.
fortunate enough to have this technology. You know, I have hearing aids that most people wouldn't even know that I'm wearing them. You know, because they're custom and they're like inside my ear versus outside.
Right.
So, you know, I think, you know, I'll say this: for a long time, I was very embarrassed about it. You know, and I felt like, hey, Jasmine girl, hey, little bit. I felt like I didn't tell people for a very, very long time because I felt that with the way the dance industry is set up, I felt like somebody would look at it as, oh, she has a hearing issue, and that's not something we want to deal with, and so we probably just won't hire her. So for a very, very long time, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell the choreographers. I didn't tell my friends. You know, I didn't tell anybody. Like literally, I'm gonna say the first time that I actually ever spoke up about having some trouble hearing was when I did VMAs with Beyonce. And that's because we were in a super, super large sound studio, like huge, you know, and with all of the sounds from the directions from the choreographer, the general chatter of everybody in there, the lights, the sound, the echo in the space.
Mm-hmm.
I was not hearing direction from the choreographer, and I had missed the cue during rehearsals, and because my back was facing, what would be the audience,
Right.
and for me, if I can't see uh, someone's lips moving, it makes it a bit more challenging because I'm hearing, but I'm also reading lips at the same time. You know, and I missed the cue, and then my homegirl, because I was supposed to grab somebody's hand, but I didn't hear because they were behind me, giving the direction. So I guess whenever we took a break, my homegirl, because I was actually supposed to grab her hand, like she told me, and I was like, all right. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to tell the choreographer. I'm gonna have to make it clear because I don't want them to think I'm just sitting here, ignoring direction.
Right. Right.
So yeah, that job, and mind you, it was like at least 100 dancers in there. There was like 100 of us in there, you know. So I remember during that job, I did tell I told a lot more people than I normally would have. Like I told all my friends because I was obviously in the room with all my friends. I told them, and then once I found out that I had missed that cue, I told hey Keon, I told the choreographer, well, one of the choreographers.
And what was the response to that? Was he just like?
He was like, all right.
Gotcha.
It was very.
Just like, all right.
It was like, all right. Yeah. A lot of people have told me, that, my friends were like, oh, Shernita, totally fine, and things like that. So that's where we at.
Now, do you feel the need when, like, let's say, for instance, you've done a lot of TV show work with Glee, SNL, Black Girls Rock, Good Morning America, Annie, The Get Down. I'm letting it all out right now. The Get Down. Do you feel the need to tell those directors and choreographers about that, or is it kind of like you wait and kind of just feel it out and see what happens?
Normally, I feel it out, because there's some situations where I can hear fine, and then there's some situations where I can't. Specifically on the Get Down, I remember telling Yaya, that was my because I had my scene with him. He was Cadillac in the Get Down, and he's done a whole bunch of stuff. He's like, yeah, he's one of those Yale drama school graduates. I remember that it was a bit tough because of, again, the lighting, the space, the sound, and, the hum of everything going. So, after we did our rehearsal, I just like pulled them to the side and I was like, hey, y'all, um, I have hearing loss, and if there's a way that you can, do your performance how you need to do it, but in a way that would support me, I would greatly appreciate it. He was like, sure, fine.
That's amazing.
It was literally that easy. And then I shot something else, maybe well, before quarantine. I shot another TV show that hasn't aired yet, and I had to tell the assistant director, and then she told the director, and they made it very very easy and very accessible to me. Like the they would give the directions and stuff like that, and then the assistant director or the director himself will come up to me and talk to me one on one to make sure that I like understood, and then that was it.
Perfect. So it's a perfect segue that you talked about the Get Down, because I want to show the Get Down clip. And let's talk about it.
Do it. We on the show. We on Flying Under the Radar with Marlon Taylor-Wiles. Oh my God, makes me so happy. I got a story about this too. We can't hear the sound. There you go.
So Rita, what was that like, being on set and where you had to do some acting and it's not dancing?
Well, that wasn't my first acting gig. Like I've done The Blacklist, I've done Odd Mom Out. What else? I've done acting stuff before. That was just like the most known. And believe it or not, that was my second scene that I shot for the Get Down. The first scene got cut. So I had a scene, and I was basically, somebody said the audio. So hey, Antonio, on the video. Okay. I was running the drug house, and I was butt naked. The like on the script it was like close up on stunning woman, and then like it started out here, like I'm on the phone, and then I'm talking to, who was I talking to? I was talking to one of the other characters on the phone. I love you too, Antonio. And they were basically telling me to shut the drug house down. So we're talking in code, and I'm like, she's like, oh, I'm not feeling well. I'm like, oh, so sorry to hear that, honey. Kiss the kids for me. Hang up the phone, pan out, and then you see everyone's butt ass naked in the drug house, right?
The drug house, yeah.
So that was the first scene, and now mind you, all of my friends were on the show. I missed the dance call for the Get Down because I had to work. My kids had a show, and it was like on the day of their show, and it was like super far out. There was no way I could make both, so I had to I had to choose the kids, and I was super disappointed. And then eventually the acting role came around, and I booked that. And so when they released the Get Down, they released it in two parts. So they released part one, and then they released part two. And when part one came out, I remember Like I was looking on IMDb, I wasn't seeing my name. When it came out, I like fast forwarded through like all the episodes just to get to the ending, you know, and I did, and my name wasn't up there. And let me tell you, I was fucking devastated.
I know that feeling.
I was devastated. Because I was like, this was my moment. I was recurring because I had already shot the scene you just saw. I shot the scene that got cut like in the summer, and then I shot the scene that you saw like maybe in like the fall. So when I didn't see my first scene make it, I figured I had got cut completely from all the episodes. I was devastated. Now, mind you, all my friends, they were like posting, we in the get down. They like, we on this, and they partying. I'm seeing them at like the after parties. I'm seeing this, and I was like crushed. I was like, I'm never gonna make it. I was like, this is my chance. This is my moment. Like everything is messed up. And then, you know, when part 2 came out, my homegirl who assisted in choreography and another homeboy of mine who was on the show as a dancer as well, they were like, and they had went to the premiere and saw that episode that you just showed. And even then, I still was like, well, I'm going to wait until it comes out on Netflix to see if, because like, I was like, well, maybe this is just a test screening, like whatever the case is. And then, boom.
There you have it.
It was there.
So you said that you had to miss the dance call because you had a show with your kids. So I'm sure you were teaching, right?
Yep.
So how did you get
into
How did you get into teaching? Yo, Jose, what's up, my brother? How did you get into teaching?
I've been teaching at this point for maybe 17, 18 years. I needed a job, obviously, you know. Hey, Janae. Hey, Renee, Janae.
Because you've been teaching everywhere, from Peridance, Broadway Dance Center, and then several jobs internationally.
Yeah. I mean, I started out teaching kids, and that's what I've been doing, and then eventually moved into teaching adults. You know, I like money, you know, and I knew that, you know, starting out in dance, you know, just with the way the entertainment industry is, you know, you got to have a hustle. Like, I'm not going to just be out here being a fool and not working, you know. So I knew from the time that I was 17 that I was not interested in doing any type of office or corporate stuff. I had my first corporate, you know, what it wasn't corporate, but, you know, I had my first office job at a nonprofit when I was 17, and I was like, never again.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not for me. And then I think I worked at a coffee shop. I worked at a Cozy. Hey, Kia. And then after that, I was just like, if I'm gonna, obviously I need to have a job, and I need to have something that is going to be aligned with my career. So I was like, what can I do? I'm gonna teach dance to kids, you know, and that that found me really early, and then that's where we are.
So from teaching kids, what piece of advice would you give to your younger self?
What advice would I give to my younger self?
Like, yeah, what advice do you give your kids when you're teaching them that you would say, I wish I knew this when I was your age?
I do wish. I think that I would tell my younger self the importance of really, really having a mentor and having someone to really connect with and to help you seize those opportunities that come to you. Because when I think about, you know, the opportunities that I had when I was like younger that I just like completely like blew off, you know? I just wish that I had somebody to really help me understand the importance of having a mentor and seizing these opportunities, and also the importance of being like open and not telling yourself no, like not letting the fear and the overthinking prevent you from trying new things. Like especially like as a kid, like kids need that because they're gonna be so in their own little box or whatever the little raggedy ass friends is doing. You know what I'm saying? Like they need somebody to be like, no, bring your ass here. We going to the symphony. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're going. We're going to the opera. We're going to see this ballet. I was fortunate enough that my family had me exposed to a lot of different things. Like I've been traveling since I was like 6. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandma and my family, they always exposed me to things outside of my neighborhood, but they didn't really know anything about the art. Like I'm the only artist in my family. There's nobody else. There's no one else in my family on except for like my cousins by marriage. But in my mother and my father, like my cousins and all that extended family, I'm the only artist, and I have a huge family. And I'm the only one who's pursuing the arts. And this is back in the day when there was dial-up internet. Like like AOL. Like this, like my family and things like that, they literally didn't know how. So that's so yeah, I would just encourage try new things, seize those opportunities. Are we gonna get cut off in 4 minutes?
Oh, we are?
Because you started at 8 and it's 8:56.
If we do, we should continue. Because there's a couple more things, and I definitely want to open it up to. We've been having such a great conversation, and you've been dropping a lot of gems for everybody.
Yeah, I got some gems. I've been drum dropping. So everybody, just know if we cut off,
we cut it right back. People, which is probably the most popular party in the city right now, hands down.
Yep.
How do you feel with COVID-19? How do you think that's going to shift? What's going to happen just in general for like not only as us dancers being in those kind of intimate spaces, but being in an everyday people party type space where, I mean, we would be sardines in a can, but the vibe is so perfect.
Right.
And we have this epidemic, that's the pandemic that's come onto us. How do you see post all of this?
I'm going to be honest. I don't have the answer.
Yeah.
If I'm going to get some water.
Okay.
And I just feel like I think with COVID-19, I know me personally, I'm just taking everything literally one day at a time.
Yeah.
And as it comes. Nobody has dealt with a pandemic before. No one. No one of our not even our grandparents. Nobody, To project about what could be and what can't be, it doesn't make any sense. Literally no one knows what's happening the next day, let alone what our businesses are gonna be like. I mean, obviously I would hope that I believe that we'll all return to some sort of normalcy. But what exactly that normalcy is, I don't know. When exactly that normalcy is, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I literally don't have the answers. And again, I'm just literally taking it day by day.
I think we all are. And like I said in the very beginning, of our beautiful chat here is that I think everyone needs to take a moment to pat yourself on the back, because we're all, and everybody out there, pat yourself on the back. We're doing an amazing job just trying to navigate something that we've never experienced before. And because this is so weird and different, we can kind of get caught up in our feelings and get the anxiety can kind of creep up of like, damn, I'm scared to go outside. Damn, I don't know what I'm gonna do my dance. No, I can't take class. I can't do these things. I think everybody just pause, take a second, reflect on this, take this time to be creative in other moments and other ways. Pick up some books, take some free classes, online classes or whatever you can do, because this is so different. This is new. This is new to everyone.
Yeah.
It's a complete new moment. But real quick, I want to do a kind of fill in the blank questions real quick. All right?
Okay.
So, if I could have any superpower, it would be.
Ooh, if I could have a superpower. This one really keeps me torn, because I do like to hey 87th teleportation.
Okay.
Because I'm always late. And getting on the trains and doing all that stuff. Obviously, spending money on Ubers, back in the day before Corona. I would love to be able to teleport, get where I need to get fast.
Okay. If I could perform with anyone dead or alive, it would be.
I could perform with anyone dead or alive?
Yeah. It would be who?
Oh my God, there's so many. But I'm going to have to say, I guess I would say Prince.
Ooh, nice.
Lenny Kravitz.
Nice.
Like, I have a major dream to dance with Lenny Kravitz. Like,
that's
as
possible.
me,
that's very possible.
Like me coming out for an American Woman solo while he's playing the guitar and I'm dancing really nasty.
If anyone here has any Doja, everybody else here?
Somebody got
that happen. All right. If I wasn't a dancer, I would be.
I would be right still in this field. I would be doing exactly what I'm doing. Right. Whether it's dancing, acting, hosting, it would be something entertainment media related for sure.
When I warm up.
I would be a trophy wife. I would just be rich on my yacht.
Right up.
I would be just rich on a yacht.
In my dance bag, I always have
my makeup.
Okay. The first thing I do when I get to the studio is
the studio
or class or wherever. All right. So what do we leave off? Oh, when I warm up, I listen to what?
When I warm up, I listen to other people's conversations. like when I warm up, I'll be talking.
Okay, so we got everybody's coming back. So the question was, when I warm up, when I warm up, I listen to what?
Other people's conversations. Because I'll be talking with my friends and stuff. I'm like, oh, what's that? Yo, what? Can you believe that? Oh my God, I'll be talking shit. That's what I'll be doing.
Yo, if I was stuck on an island, I would be stuck with food.
Oh, that's tough. I'm stuck on an island.
Could be a celebrity, could be our best friend, could be.
Oh, Sassy Ray, my baby. Like who would I want to be stuck with? This is a good question.
Think about it.
Who would I want to be stuck with? Who do I really like? who I really want to kick it with? Damn, there's so many people. This is tough. But I think.
All right, let's do this. Let's make it 3 people.
Okay, this
Open it.
works.
Make it 3 people. Make it 3 people.
All right, I would probably say my homegirl Diva.
Okay.
Because I need somebody to like talk shit with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hi, G-Song. Yeah, I need somebody to like, kiki with, like a little girl time, Hey, West Ampersand. Who else? I think, hey, the Griggs brothers.
What's up, Griggs brothers?
They're my neighbors.
Brooklyn.
They live in the same area as me. Hey, Tiff Marie. Damn, this is good. Who has Oprah?
So we got Diva, Oprah, and who else?
Shit.
Last person.
This is really hard.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive? I don't know. Who's like coming ahead? Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis.
Yes.
So
I don't want nobody talking about me in these streets. She's the mom on Blackish.
I know exactly what you're talking about. All right. My least favorite exercise is
everything.
No exercise.
I don't like exercising at all. But especially, did you see me in Insanity and Insanity Max 30? I don't like anything jumping. I don't like working out. I have friends who are upset with me because I will come to their fitness classes, but I'm like, guys, I don't like to sweat.
But you stay fit.
It's God. I have really good genes.
Rita, hot or cold?
Hot.
Peanut butter or almond butter?
Peanut butter.
Nike or Adidas?
Ooh. Nike.
Weekends or weekdays?
What?
Weekends or weekdays?
Weekdays.
Why?
I live my life in the days. I live my life all the time. I'm not waiting until the fucking weekend. Like, remember, when I'm hosting LeBain on Wednesday night. I've had Tuesday night parties. I've had Monday night parties.
That's true.
Like,
it should be every day for you. That weekend,
every day. I'm not.
Because you pop in every day, Monday through Sunday. It don't stop.
Yeah, like, I've never been into that whole, hey, Ash. I've never been into that whole, weekend business. And the cool people, hey, Chrisia, the cool people party during the week.
That's kind of true. Kind of true.
Yeah, the cool people party during the week. The party's during the week.
All right. Shorts or pants?
Shorts.
All the time?
All the time.
All the time.
Have you ever seen me? I'm always in. Sorry, I got my little tripod going. Have you ever seen me? I'm always. Hey, Jada.
What's up, Jada?
Hey, Duta.
Jada with the popping too.
You know Jada too? Don't you know Jada? Jada's my friend. Marlon always knowing somebody. Jada is my friend.
That's my friend.
I will fight.
That's my friend.
But yeah, the Griggs brothers don't try me knowing Jada either.
They don't know Jada. Griggs don't know Jada.
I do. Definitely shorts. I'm always in summer. I'm always in something summer, and my legs are so hot. I look so sexy. Summer.
Come on, you from New York?
I'm born in July.
You Cancer?
Ew.
What are you?
I'm a Leo. Are you a Cancer?
Jada's a Cancer. I'm a Cancer. What's up?
Boo, Cancer. Boo, Cancer. Boo. You a Cancer? Go home, boo. What up, DJ Yanks?
Yo, we've had such an amazing conversation, but I really want to open up the Q&A. See, that's Jada. See Jada's comment? Cancer gang already. So everyone, there are these 2 boxes on your screen with a little question mark. If you have a question for Shernita Anderson, please hit us up right now. So we want to open this up.
Cancers.
Any industry questions, anything that you would like to know, how she navigates everything that she does, please let us know. And I think, Rita, we didn't really get to talk about you being a host.
hosting everywhere, from the besties to like everyday people to like Albert Daily events. Like, how did that even happen?
So I was taking class at BDC. You know, I was a regular at BDC, and Rhapsody James and Cheryl Murakami were having a show. They were putting a show together. It was called Thrapsody because Cheryl had her group of girls. They were called Thrash. And Rhapsody, her name is Rhapsody.
Right.
They were doing a show together, and they were just like, hey, you know, we're having this show, and, you know, the dancers are rotating a lot. So we like need somebody to just kind of like keep the crowd entertained and, just keep the crowd entertained and introduce us. I was like, okay. And it was at the bitter end.
And it's been popping ever since.
Yeah, I mean, from that, then I went to, then Rhapsody had her own show called Sirens After Dark, and I was the official host of that. Then during that time, Ladies of Hip Hop, they reached out to me, and I'm the official host of that to this day.
Right.
And then that's in regards to, you know, the MC stuff.
Yeah.
And then people just be like hitting me up.
Now, does your agent represent you as that for that as well and get you work?
No,
for that?
that's all me.
That's all you.
Came up. That's all me.
All in the pocket. Oh, we got a couple questions. There we go. Okay.
You see them? You can see the questions? Why I can't see them?
Because I'm the host this time. I'm the host. So, first question is from the Griggs brothers. Have you always lived in New York City?
Yes, I'm a real New Yorker. Not like these fake. Oh, look, I can see the questions now.
There you go. Now you can see it.
Thank you. I'm a real ass New Yorker, okay? I'm not like y'all fake wannabe. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. I've lived here my whole life.
Same neighborhood?
No, first I was in Crown Heights. I'm home, and I've been in Bed-Stuy.
Since you moved out your house?
Yeah, out of my grandma's house.
Okay, next question. How many days a week did you train, and how did you find your agent? Great question. Great question.
This is a good question.
That's a great question. Thank you, Jada.
Thank you, Jada.
Hey, 07.
Let's see. When I was training for real, hey Mozzie, hey Jazz, hey Keith.
So for our new people that just came on, we have a Q&A now. So if you have any questions, please hit those double boxes with the question mark and drop some questions. JT, drop a question, JT.
When I was training for real, it was weekly. So I probably was in class like 2-3 times a week. Sometimes more, but on average. Hey Danae. I was there 2-3 times a week. And how did I get an agent? I auditioned from taking classes and stuff like that. You know, people would talk about what auditions is coming up, things like that. They're like, oh, well, you know, this agency is coming up, this agency is coming up. So I auditioned, and I didn't get into audition for CSD, made it to the end and never heard anything. And then I remember when I emailed them, they were like, you know, good luck on your endeavors, basically. You know, some people don't have the question boxes.
So if you don't have the question boxes, just drop your question in the comments.
And then, hey Darius.
What's up, Darius?
You know Darius?
Yeah,
of course, y'all. The ballet boys. The black technical boys always know each other. Always. And then so I auditioned for CSD, didn't get it. Auditioned for DDO, got it. Hey Alex. Ça va, say ça va. That's how you say what's good, something in French. So yeah, that's how I got it.
How many times did you have to audition? How many times did you audition to get an agent?
Okay, I auditioned for CSD, didn't get it. I auditioned for Block, didn't get it. And I remember specifically for Block, I smashed it. Like, because it was an across the floor and it was house, I fucking murdered it. And I didn't get it. And it's because of my look wasn't together.
Was it together then?
Keyword then.
Then. Let's be clear. Gotta be very clear.
You know, and speaking of look, you know, things are very different back then. Like, the kids nowadays have it very, very easy. You know? I had to literally figure out my look for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
These girls in their Fashion Nova and their weaves and waist trainers at 16 years old. And then another thing is I never looked like I just started looking like a woman. You know? Hey, Amari, what up, King with Locks? I just started, you know, really looking like a woman in the past maybe like 10, you know, years. But like coming up, look was chopped.
But I think we're also at a moment now where diversity is full in. It's not a particular look. So even like the weirder, sometimes, I'm no disrespect to anybody, but the weirder you look, it's almost like it works. The more unique you look, it works. Because back in the day, it was like, we have this kind of look, that's it. Now it's like, the spectrum is open.
And Darius reminded me, you know, I had dreadlocks.
Yeah, dreadlocks.
Yeah. I had dreadlocks and, you know, I cut them when I wanted to cut them.
Yeah.
You know, and everything simultaneously happened. Like I did MTV Made and then I cut my hair. Well, I booked a couple jobs with DDO. Then I did MTV Made and then I was ready to cut my hair.
Question from JT. JT says, what is a good age to put your kid in dance? Or should a kid start dancing?
ASAP.
You got that, JT? ASAP. Put a little
ASAP.
rope right now.
Hey Daniela, my baby.
Could you recommend any schools or anywhere that JT should take his daughter to dance? I think JT's daughter's 4, 5.
Anything will do when anything that they, you know, that's you know, that's safe, obviously, for the kids. Anything will do. Anything will do when they're that age. It's when they get a little older, you know, then you can really see what their flow is and then put them in something better. But, you know, even if your child is not gonna pursue, you know, dance as a career, the confidence and the ownership of their body that they have, that's like literally that's all I can say. It's something, there's a confidence, there's a sense of self, there's, you know, that sense of ownership that a person can gain from taking dance class, especially at a young age. It just takes them so far.
Perfect advice. Let's see, we got a question. Here we go. Boom. Oh, we got a lot of good questions.
Yes, give them to me. I love questions. Can you audition for an agency more than once? Of course. You can audition for anything as much time as you want. You know, Daniela, I never knew you were with ABT. I knew you were trained, but I didn't know it was ABT. I met Daniela doing when I'm doing Go-Go with Lady Fag.
Oh, nice.
But wait, what was the question again?
The question was, can you audition for an agency more than once?
Yes, audition until you get in. It's not like they're gonna say, "Hey, we saw you last year. We don't want you."
So true. Okay, let's see. We have.
I love the questions.
We got JT's question. His question was about. That's nice. Love you too, bro. My my brother right there.
I love you too, JT, even though he said he don't love me. It's fine.
Let's see. Any more questions?
Hey, Chloe.
Ain't that all of our questions? Word, never give up, says the Grace Brothers.
That's right.
They know. Let's see.
Me and Chloe did Kanye together.
Oh, we just showed her a clip.
Yeah. We did Kanye and I think it was either Revel in Atlantic City.
Atlantic City, right? Yeah.
Or LA.
So you worked with him twice?
I worked with him at SNL. I worked with him Revel. I worked with him Austin City Limits, and I worked with him for like this X LA.
Was that all for one? Was that all the same show as Runaway? The same choreography or different work?
Essentially the same. Essentially, maybe a couple of tweaks here and there.
All right, we got some more questions. Boom. Here we go.
Give them work questions. Y'all got the good questions.
Let's go.
Oh, Janae said she left the Kanye audition. I remember. Did I cross train? I never was taking class for fitness. I was always taking class because I love to dance. And it wasn't until as I was taking more classes and talking to more people that I realized that I have. Are you looking at what Darius said? Darius, so have you though. So have you.
That's a fact.
It is a fact. I was taking class a lot because I loved it, you know. And from being out, that's when I found out that I could have a career in it. It wasn't until, you know, like Broadway Dance Center and just talking to people that I realized, like, oh, these people have a career in this. You know, that's when it started to click to me that I could have a career in it. So it was never about fitness for me. It was always about my love of dance and showing off.
Boom. We got another question. We got a good question from the Grace Brothers. What are you doing to get through this time?
Well, aside from looking gorgeous, I have two. Hey, Terrence. Do you know Terrence, Marlon?
No, I don't know Terrence. What's good, Terrence?
He's another technical guy. He's
What's good?
He was in Wicked. He was the ribbon guy in Wicked.
Oh, fire.
Yeah. Hey, Renee. What was the question again? Oh, how am I getting through the time?
How you getting through this? Yeah. I'm gonna get my phone charger.
Okay, yeah, you do that. You should have been had it. That's unprofessional. I know. Ghetto. So ghetto. I have two weekly series. I have Shernita Be Quarantining that I release every Thursday.
Which is fire.
Thank you. It's basically, you know, me talking shit about mad different topics while we're quarantined. I've covered topics. They're on my IGTV and they're on YouTube if you know that's your thing. And then I also do recaps of Insecure season 4. So those come out every Sunday. Yeah, so that's a little bit of what I'm doing. I'm sleeping, I'm chilling, you know, taking care of my skin as usual.
Drinking lots of water.
Always. But you know, I got the coconut oil on here.
Nope.
You know. So yeah, every Thursday and Sunday I release videos. So that's taking up my time. And also, yes, as Darius said, I used to recap
the Game of Thrones recap. Perfect.
Those are really good too.
Perfect.
So yeah, if y'all go to my IGTV, everything you need to see is there. Every week I'm releasing videos for y'all.
All right, we got some questions. Let's go.
I love questions. Questions.
Have you always been so confident and funny, or is that something that came with experience? Great
Ooh.
question, Daniela. Thank you.
Y'all got the good
Let's
question.
go.
I used to have low self-esteem growing up until maybe because
at
I'm
that.
on somebody else's.
No.
Jasmine. I have low self-esteem. I need to charge not my phone. I need to charge these.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm not irresponsible like you.
I was gonna say.
I used to have low self-esteem until I was about 16. And then after that, I just like really, just started working on my confidence. I have always been funny though. I've always had this personality. Hey, Cash. I've always had this personality. I've always been funny. I've always just had this vibe and light about me. Always had it. And then, confidence is something that I had to build up. I had to work on as time went on. And, even now, I still have my moments where, I'm not as confident about stuff.
With confidence, how do you teach that to your students?
I encourage my students a lot. I teach Black kids, and Black kids need more support,
right,
than a lot of other kids. All kids need support, but especially Black kids.
Yeah.
I encourage them all the time. I only speak life into them. I'm always I'm hard on them. They know.
Yeah.
But I'm constantly encouraging. Even when I joke around with them, I'm like, would you get your pretty face over here? But sometimes I call them ugly just for fun, but they know I'm playing. But, just like most of my jokes with them are still like positive reinforcements. I reinforce them with everything. Every single thing. It's constant reinforcement through at school. And then the good thing is that, I'm a Black woman. I come from the same area as a lot of the same area and or background as a lot of my students. So I give them a lot of, I have a lot of examples for them, because a lot of the stuff that they're going through, I've been there.
Yeah.
So, and then I can also give them like the past, like what happened to me in the past, things I've gone through in the past, but I can also give them that view of the future career-wise. I'm like, okay, well, in my career now, working with this one, this is how it's all relevant and tie it in. So I try to tie in all those lessons, and I'm always speaking life into them all the time.
Well, that's great because you're someone to me who's not only a trendsetter and you're constantly breaking doors down, but by working with these students, you're able to give them the knowledge, this access into the industry that they would not normally get. So when you talk about having a mentor, it's almost like you're their mentor in a sense.
I am their mentor.
They probably don't even know it. They think,
yep,
this is my teacher, but I think eventually they'll understand how important or how valuable the information that you're giving them is.
Yep. Even some of my, I'm in contact with a lot of my students. One of my former students comes to my parties, because she's of age now. Amari, if you want a picture of my locks, it's on the internet.
You find it.
Just type in Shernita Anderson locks. Scroll down a little bit. It'll pop up. I'm in an orange thing. Yeah, I'm just always encouraging these kids. Have to.
Right, we got another question.
Ooh, I love questions. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to Black love? Can we skip this question?
Why?
Because Black love is complex, and I'm not here to be talking about my relationships. This is about my career, and
okay.
That's that.
Boom, perfect. Any more questions?
Yeah, non-personal. I mean,
non-personal. All right. If we don't have any more questions, I guess we can start to wrap it up. But the important thing that I said in the very beginning is that ClassCentral.com is having free online classes from all the Ivy League schools around the country. So you can take anything from finance to business to computer science to data science, all free classes. So I encourage everyone, if you have some time on your hand, which I'm sure most of us do, if you want to just kind of dive in something creatively that you've never been or never did or had access to, here's opportunity for that. So that's ClassCentral.com. And let's see. Oh, we got another question, real quick.
It better not be about Black love.
Talk about sugar.
Oh my God. I had the pleasure of doing a Broadway workshop, which is what they do when they want a show to come to Broadway. So I was in a Broadway workshop for 2 years with Darius, working on Superfly. They wanted to bring Superfly to Broadway. Choreographer Bill T. Jones.
Fire.
And I will never forget it. So the audition, I almost didn't go because I was like, I have some, technical training, but I'm no postmodern. There's no Lamone Horton, Bill T. Graham. Like, the last time I took Graham was in high school.
No.
So I remember specifically, I was talking to my homegirl Darren. She lives in Chicago now. And I was like, yeah, this audition is coming, but I don't really know. And let them tell you no. Hey, Melissa.
That's a great piece of advice. That's a great piece of advice.
And I keep it with me to this day. Hey, Terry.
Great piece of advice. Damn.
She said, let them tell you no. So I went in there, me and my homegirl, and auditioning for Bill T. Jones is something, it's unlike anything anyone will ever experience. The man is a genius, and he's going to do whatever he wants to do. It's not going to be like a regular theater style audition. It's unlike any audition I've ever had. Anyway, I did the combination and things like that, and then I got cut, and I was so sad. And so I packed up. I got my little jazz slippers, got my little bag, and literally as I'm at the door, the assistant choreographer, she's like, "Excuse me." She's like, "Can you please stay?" I was like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah, he made a mistake." And I was like, "Okay." And I was literally getting ready to go in the bathroom and cry. I was on my way to the bathroom and cry. Like the tear was like right. It was like this right there. And and then eventually I got the confirmation, I booked it. And so we're in the table read or whatever it is. I don't know, that's my first thing. But we're reading the script now. And the leads had already been casted already. So, there were just like a couple little parts that weren't casted or whatever. And then literally, he comes like he's just, because Bill T. Jones is like a big presence.
Yeah.
He's a big man and like he's a big presence, His chest is always forward. His head is always a little up. His shoulders are always back. Like he's always here all the time. Yeah. And he's like 8 feet tall. So he comes around. So, he just comes around and he literally from behind, I just feel these hands on my shoulders. Like, and he's like, "Yes. You'll read for sugar. Yes." And I was like, "Okay." And that's literally how it was. And I was sugar for the entire process. Sugar was a drug addict who, who, a great dancer, drug addict, slim, always had a booty out. And hi, Michelle, saying Sleeky, I hope. And she was the girlfriend of one of the main characters, Fat Freddy. Everybody knew that Sugar was a drug addict, but Freddie didn't. And like Darius said, I made the character. Sugar was nobody until me.
Boom.
Literally,
Boom.
I created the character.
Boom. Thank you, Darius.
Thank
for that.
you.
We got more questions coming in.
Yeah, I love questions. La la la.
Favorite singer?
Favorite singer?
Yep.
Ooh, who is my favorite singer? That's a good question. I don't think I have a favorite singer. I be liking a lot of stuff.
What you liking right now?
The same as usual. Well, I like old school stuff. I like Sade, Sting. I don't like it. I'm just not into it. Give me the old stuff. Give me anything 70s to early 2000s.
She said Missy Elliott.
Hi, Cindy.
Oh, you worked
Cindy.
with Missy Elliott. We was VMAs, right?
I did, kinda. Cindy is one of my longest friends. Me and Cindy have been friends since 6th grade.
Oh, damn.
Yep,
Thank you for joining, Cindy.
that's my boo.
Yo.
And Cindy was also in Philadelphia.
Oh, fire. I like Philadelphia. That's a good company right there.
Cindy was hitting it early. Technical.
Yo, Rita, I really appreciate this. I really, really appreciate this. You dropped a lot of gems on us tonight. I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, again, everybody, ClassCentral.com for those free online classes. Also, if you've been affected by COVID-19 financially, or you just need to find some other resources, a great website is creative-capital. That's CREATIV-.
You know you can pin it to the.
I can pin it?
Yeah, pin it so people can see it.
Will they see it if they? Well, this is the end. You know, I'll put it in the stories.
Put it in the stories. And put my videos in the stories too.
Okay. There's a lot of webinars. There's a lot of seminars. There are a lot of different things that you can look at for resources to help you get through this process. And then, Rita, I'd like to get. What's up?
And I can get you through the process about y'all watching my bomb ass videos and
That's
sharing
true.
my videos and commenting and liking.
And subscribe to the YouTube.
And subscribe to the YouTube.
Shernita Anderson YouTube.
Hey, Matt Charles.
Cindy
Cindy and Natalie, do y'all know each other? I think we all went to Skylar together. Okay, whatever. Keep going.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
And then I'd like to wrap it up by just saying I approve of myself 3 times together because I think it's important during these moments that
What's the word?
I approve of myself.
Ooh, done. All right,
Right?
we ready?
So we're counting 3 and then we're set together. 1, 2, 3. I
I
approve
approve
of
of
myself.
myself. I approve of myself. I
I
approve of myself.
Love you, Rita. Thank you so much. Yo, really appreciate you. Wow.
I am so thankful. Thank you so much. This was like the best interview I've had, from like the questions and your format. Because sometimes people just be asking me just like really boring things or things that like I've already answered like a million times. So yeah, this was like really great.
And we went for an hour and like almost an hour and 40 minutes. We could keep going. But you know.
I'm here. Obviously.
Anybody got more questions?
I'm inside. If anybody has any more questions,
hit us up. Also, Rita, how do you feel about people hitting you up for mentorship? Young students, young people hitting you up for questions, stuff like that.
Wait, what was the question?
Anyone that can hit you up for like a mentorship, or just to hit you up just to ask questions about the industry.
People hit me up all the time. Slide in my DMs. I answer on both my pages, Shernita Supply and the Heels Experience.
We didn't even get to talk. Actually, before we go, let's talk about Heels Experience for a bit.
All right, we can talk about it.
Let's drop that. Drop some knowledge about Heels Experience. What is Heels Experience and how did it come about?
I started, I've been teaching for a long time, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm good with the heels business, so
Yeah.
I just created my own thing, the Heels Experience, where we focus on sensuality, performance, and self-esteem.
Now, let's say if you're not experienced in heels, is it a class where it's like an advanced class, or can anyone take this class?
Well, basically, what I was doing was I was either running occasional workshops, or I would just sub. Dancers Be Like is here. We gotta kick them out because they're gonna be talking shit. I'm glad they came at the end. Because Dancers Be Like, y'all think y'all so slick, and I know y'all probably recorded this to use on y'all little page. I do not approve of Dancers Be Like using my footage for their little page.
What's up, Dancers Be Like?
Hi, Dancers Be Like. Because y'all think y'all so slick, okay? So it was basically just pop-up classes, pop-up workshops. It was never well, I did have a class for a while for 9 months at Brick House. I was teaching there for a little bit. The Heels Experience, I guess you could say, it's on an as-needed basis. If people, it's on an as-needed basis, and it's on a when I feel like it basis.
Because I find that heels are becoming a big thing right now within the entertainment industry. And a lot of people are not as versed in wearing heels and dancing. So I think this class is well needed.
A lot of people say that. However, when I was teaching for 9 months, my classes probably, I think the maximum amount of people I ever had in my class, hey Hakika, the maximum amount of people I ever had in my class was maybe 10. And that's not enough for me.
Yeah.
And 10 was the max over a 9-month period. But mostly it would be between 5 and 6 people. So it's people are like, oh, Shernita, I want to take your class. When are you going to have a regular class? Boom, I have a regular class and people are not showing up. And for me, the Heels Experience is not designed for someone who doesn't know how to dance or someone who just wants to get their fitness on and be sexy.
Right.
That's not it. The Heels Experience was always designed for a person who wants to take their dancing to the next level.
Right.
Better, what can I work on?
Now, do you think that it could slightly be intimidating? Because on the videos, y'all be killing it. So for someone who's a beginner, do you think it might be I can't take that class because I'm not as advanced?
Yes. If you're a beginner,
take an advanced level class.
It's not crazy advanced. I wouldn't say, if we're talking about levels, I would say in general, my class ranges between advanced beginner to intermediate advanced. Gotcha. It's right in there. My class is not designed for an absolute beginner. It's not. It never has been. It never will be.
Yeah.
It's not designed for somebody who, wants to just, feel sexy and sweat.
On that note, my girl Rita, thank you so much.